To have with us Dr. Chigateri, Director and CEO of Health Minds, who is our special guest. I call Harshita to introduce this distinguished personality.
Mr. Chinmaya P. Chigateri is the Director and CEO of Health Minds. Sir is the sharp end of organization and is responsible for the business development, client relation, investors relation, and driving the overall strategy of the company. Prior to founding Health Minds, he has consulted with various organizations in areas of medical publishing, healthcare IT, and research advisory. He also worked with the Kempegowda Institute of Medical Science as its scientific project coordinator for its HIV/AIDS program, where he consulted with the Karnataka State AIDS Prevention Society under the government of Karnataka. He is a Bachelor of Dentistry from India and holds a Master Infectious Disease from the University of Western Australia, Perth. He has the distinction of being a student of and working with Professor Barry Marshall, the Nobel Prize winner for the medicine and physiology for the year 2005. He is a 2014 fellow in the Startup Leadership Program in Bangalore. We welcome you, sir.
Thank you, Harshita. I request Dr. Chinmaya Chigateri, sir, to kindly address the gathering.
Hello everyone and good morning. Sorry, I didn't come prepared for the speech because I wasn't sure whether I'd be speaking today. Distinguished guests on the dais, Mr. Subhan Sharif, Secretary of LME, Dr. Shobha Helimat, the Dean, and everyone else who's present here. To be honest, I'm not used to all this speech-giving business, so I'll try to keep it as casual as possible. I just want to introduce to Health Minds what we do, and I think that kind of sets the perspective of why we're sponsoring this event and why we wanted to be involved. Health Minds is a company that was actually a very experimental model when we started out 4 years back. When I was working with the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation, leading the HIV program in Karnataka, one of the most fundamental cultures that I saw when people made research decisions, or when people made program decisions, when we're running a big public health program, you need to make some programmatic decisions on the way. And I'm sure here senior faculty of people who have been in research for so long will understand that all of these decision making needs to be data driven. But unfortunately in our country, that culture just isn't there. And I saw it firsthand, because when I came out of Barry's lab in UWA in Perth, even like a small experiment you want to redo, there was heaps of data that we would analyze just to redo the experiment. Right? So that's the kind of data-driven culture that we had, and I think most good laboratories abroad have. I'm just putting the larger perspective, I'm not going to the nitty-gritties. So I was used to that kind of research approach, and then that I saw was missing here. And we said, okay, can we solve this problem? Because I think this is a fundamental problem, the way we do research in this country. And we decided to say, hey, okay, we're going to solve this problem, so how do we do it? I can't do it alone. So we needed an institution to do it. So I tried speaking to a lot of academicians, a lot of colleges, and I did the rounds for about, say, 7-8 months. Nothing really stuck, because the kind of thing I was trying to explain to them never got across. And I said, forget it, I'm going to do it on my own, right? And that's when Health Minds happened. I was a lone guy. I started at the workstation in my living room in my home, and today we are a 40-member company in 4 years. So that's the story, right? What do we do at Health Minds? Number one, we help researchers make data-driven decisions. You have research data, you don't know what to do with it, or you don't know how to take it forward, we'll help you get there. Right? That's fundamentally what we do. And we have a product offering called DART, which is our data analytics and research trajectory. So we help researchers, public health programmers, doctors, large institutions analyze research data. And then we also help them publish these studies, because you have all this data, you've analyzed it, there is very good information available, but if you don't get it out, then nobody's ever going to know what you did. And it's the whole satisfaction of adding something to the knowledge pool that's always very gratifying. Right? So I'm sure people who have published here will understand that feeling. So that's what we do as one of our divisions. And our second division, I don't know if how many of you, had a chance to look at our stall. We have our colleague here, Chinmaya, and another colleague. We are now moving into medical trainings. And it's all about capacity building, continuing medical education, things that are not taught in regular medical schools or pharmacy schools or dental schools, but the more cutting edge skills that you need to know to be abreast of the market needs in the healthcare industry is what we help students and academicians acquire. Right? And so, coming from that perspective, it's very important that you have basic knowledge. And if you want to be ahead of the curve, we have this phrase called being ahead of the curve, right? You want to be ahead of the curve all the time. How do you be ahead of the curve? You have these basic degrees. Yes, I'm a dentist. You're all going to be pharmacists, or you're already pharmacy graduates here. What differentiates the mundane from the achievers? That's always the bugging question for me. You have a class of 100. 10, 15 of them go on to become super achievers. Maybe 10, 15 of them become, moderate achievers. But a whole lot of us, 60, 70% of us, just are pharmacists. We come in the healthcare system and we go out. What is our contribution? Is there a mark we can leave behind that people will recognize you for forever? And so, how do you beat that cream de la cream of the top 15% of super achievers? Right? That's what I think all of you students should be aiming to do. Get to that top 15% of being super achievers. And there are things that you need to do for that, right? Yes, it is important that you have basic education, that you have. All of us can't be the Bill Gates and the Steve Jobs of the world, where we quit college and get out there and start companies and make it big. In the law of averages, you'll only get one Tendulkar in 50 years, you'll only get a Roger Federer in 100 years, right? So that's how, in the law of averages, you'll only get a Mark Zuckerberg or a Bill Gates or a Steve Jobs in the law of averages. But it's always important for us to have these academic credentials. So you start out being pharmacists. But if you have looked out of your academic institution, the environments outside your academic institutions, it's the age of new tech, correct? I took a Uber to get here. If you told this story 10 years back to somebody that you can book a cab on a taxi app, wouldn't you be laughing out of your guts? Right? It's ridiculous what has happened. So today is the age of new age tech, and jobs are changing. You as pharmacists won't be pharmacists when you get out of this college. You'll be a completely different animal, because the market need is for something else. And I can give you a microcosm of that experience that I have when we hire at HealthMinds. It's so difficult to get people with complementing skill sets, right? In this age of new tech, companies like us are innovation driven. We are not the mom and pop shops of the world of saying, hey, I have this product, I'll just sell this product for the rest of my lifetime and be done with it. We're always looking to innovate, get things new out, and things like that. And that needs to newer applications of our academic knowledge. So the point I'm trying to make is this: you have your basic knowledge, but the application of that knowledge has changed paramount over the years. Right? A doctor today is not delegated to only treating patients. You have public health scientists, you have medical device innovators, you have so many things. And if you just look online and just see what type of companies or enterprises that people like you and me in the healthcare industry have done, it's phenomenal, right? And this new kind of application of your basic knowledge is what leads to what we call in the entrepreneurial world as disruption. And let me tell you, if you have to achieve something, you have to disrupt something. And I keep going back to this example of Uber and Ola. The way you book taxis through an app is a disruption of how things were going on. And that's why you see the taxi owners in Paris and London who are going out of business, because the entire industry was disrupted. Right? So the point I'm trying to get across is basic knowledge applied in an entirely tangential way can lead to innovation, leading to disruption. And the guys who disrupt industries are the ones who leave their mark on this world. And you can look at everybody. You look at Steve Jobs, the way he disrupted the telephone industry. Today, iPhone is an iconic gadget. Everybody wants to have it. Right? You look at Windows. You look at any of these products that are out there. Right? All of these people are the ones who have disrupted the way we did things. But the problem is this. We don't have enough disruptors out there. We don't have enough people who can think tangentially out there. And the problem is this. The traditional education pattern that we are all used to, that's being imparted to us, doesn't put us in that disruption thought process. Do you agree, man?
Yes.
Yeah. And I think this is a big problem. If India needs to be a country of innovators, then we need more disruptors amongst ourselves, right? But that isn't happening. But then, what can you do to be a disruptor? You have your fundamental academic backgrounds. Go out there, acquire new skills, right? Like we have about 10, 12 pharmacy graduates who work with us as data analysts, right? As medical writers. Or as, we have a really tech-savvy pharmacy graduate who manages our learning management system. It's unbelievable the amount of tech he knows. But that's what will get you to those positions. So what I'm trying to tell you is, don't end up just getting a pharmacy degree. Okay, I'm going to just be a clinical pharmacist. Or, that's okay to do, I'm not saying it's not. But if you want to be known for something, or if you have the drive to do something different, or if you have that, what we call the fire in the belly to do something remarkable, the only way to do it is to acquire newer skills over and above what you are being taught in a classroom. And that's going to be the key to your successes in the future. And I can tell every one of you in this room very, very confidently that this paradigm shifts that are happening in healthcare, if you don't keep up with the pace, you're going to be left behind. It's very easy to be left behind in this world today. Right? The pace at which technology is changing, the pace at which innovation is changing, if you don't keep pace, if you're not ahead of the curve, you'll get left behind. But that's a choice you will choose to make. And I want to tell you this as well. That's a choice you will end up making. If you want to be one of those people who want to do spectacular things in life, then you have to make the effort of staying ahead of the curve. But if you're resigned and cynical about saying, okay, this is it, I don't care what happens, I'm happy with this, I'm contented with this, and that's fine, that's okay. But that's a choice you'll make, right? So, I would urge each and every one of you in this room to aim high, because the upside of aiming higher, you know what I mean by the upside, the benefits of aiming higher is something that you will have to experience it yourself. I can't describe it in words, right? So go out there. It's a huge and a whole new opportunity for people out there. Get the new skills. Be ahead of the curve, aim high, and I can tell you that most of you will end up as disruptors and leave a mark behind. Right? So that's that. I don't want to take on any further. So thank you very much for this opportunity. I really didn't intend on giving a big sermon on pharmacy and the industry and its market size. We'll leave that to the consultants. So good luck. I hope this conference will really throw up some new things. Will really throw up a lot of new ideas for you to take home, and all the very best. Thank you.